Why do speedcubers love turning the Rubik's Cube? You're too old to always be solving this cube. You already know how to solve it, so what's the fun in it? If you're a cuber and you don't get these questions, then you are a very lucky person, my friend, because I get these questions every day and I'm so sick and tired of having to sit there and stammer and think about what to say. So I'm going to keep this video short and simple. The number one most logical explanation for why speedcubers love solving the Rubik's Cube is because we don't know. Our brain tells us to do it. I'm going to explain this in the next 20 seconds, but for that, I have to go a little bit scientific. Now, when you do something that you really love or that you enjoy, it stimulates the feel-good areas of the brain like the septal area and the nucleus accumbens. Is that how it's pronounced? I'm not really sure.
Nucleus accumbens.
Also, for my 2 minutes research on Google, I discovered that these parts, along with some others that I maybe cannot pronounce, play a huge role in the brain's reward system. So when you perform that activity that you enjoy, the brain is flooded with certain neurotransmitters. In other words, the brain is happy and it reinforces that activity so that you want more of it. But what drags you into that rabbit hole of turning this toy so much that it becomes a hobby? The answer to that question will be very obvious if only we've been referring to this right. We've been wrong all along. It rhymed. According to computer game designer Chris Crawford, there are two classes of playthings: toys and challenges. The main difference between these two things is that a challenge is a plaything with a clearly defined goal, while a toy is not. In the case of the Rubik's Cube, that goal is to solve the cube. Hence, we can clearly say that the Rubik's Cube is more of a challenge than a toy. So when you first get the Rubik's Cube, it poses a challenge to you. You might try to solve it on your own, but let's be honest here, a huge percentage of us just head over to YouTube and watch a tutorial. And when you finally learn how to solve this, a new challenge pops up. How fast can I solve this cube? This is the beginning of what makes cubing a hobby to most of us. But as life is, when you start learning a skill like solving the Rubik's Cube, the improvement is very fast and rapid at the early stages, but comes to almost a flat line later on. And now that same thing that was so much fun for you as you broke your PBs every day becomes so frustrating that you feel like smashing it on the wall and never touching it again. But even at this point, you still see people like me solving the Rubik's Cube. Here's why. When I talked about Crawford's levels of interactive play, I didn't quite tell you guys everything. Down that chain, there's still more stuff we didn't talk about. Let's quickly go over what these mean. Challenges can either be puzzles or conflicts. A puzzle being a challenge without any competitors or opponents, while a conflict, you guessed it, involves competitors. If the player can only outperform the opponent but not attack or interfere with their performance, the conflict is a competition, but if attacks are allowed, then it is a game. All this while, we viewed a Rubik's Cube as a puzzle. But can it be more? So a bunch of smart guys came together and formed the WCA, which is the body responsible for organizing and coordinating cubing competitions around the world. What these guys essentially did is that they found a way to move cubing down that chain, making it more engaging and more fun in general. And also in those cubing competitions, the environment is very different from the typical competition environment. It's not like a do or die affair and people get to make friends, socialize, have fun, and that is the reason why many of us keep cubing till today. Because of the community. A community that was formed around this little contraption. Because of this little cube, some random guys have had a whole documentary put together about them. Because of this cube, many people have made lifelong friends and even life partners. Because of this cube, the bond between a father and a daughter has been strengthened. And heck, I wouldn't even have this YouTube channel if not for this cube. So if you're not into cubing and you're watching this video, now you have an idea of why speedcubers love solving the Rubik's Cube. But if you're a cuber watching this, next time someone should ask you why you love solving the cube, you don't need to bother. Just share this video to them. It will save you the stress and probably give me more views. Oh my god.